welcome to the Current Connection podcast with your host and business manager, David Caranco of the Ibew Local Union 278.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that introduction, John. I really appreciate that.
Yes,
Yeah, welcome, brothers and sisters. This is the Current Connection podcast. This is our second episode that we're going to be launching. We're going to be talking about some current events going on with our local union. And thanks for being here.
Yeah, man. So, if you don't mind, can we start off with a few questions, Dave?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, well, check this out. Now that the construction on the pavilion and the parking lot are complete, what's the next phase for our local union on a building and training facility for the apprenticeship program?
Oh, yeah. That is number one priority, actually, John. This is a good question. This is a very good question. We've been actually working on this project since I've actually been in office. Back about 3 years ago, we've come to the conclusion that we need to build our own facility. We need to build our own training facility that's going to be dedicated to our apprenticeship program. But of course, in doing that, there's certain kind of avenues and hurdles that we have to go through in order to get that mission accomplished, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So another member had brought this up and wanted to talk about it, mentioning that the local union has been spending quite a bit of money and investing in basically upgrading our property, our local union property here. And that's a simple answer. It's because we here at the local union and the body and the e-board, we have 100% control of what we do with our monies.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we go and abide by our constitution and our bylaws, and as long as everything gets approved accordingly, then we have the ability to spend our funds the way we see fit.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we did, of course, I explained it at the last episode, was our back building. It was infested with mold. Another thing that we've also done is we had to, build and redo our parking lot, build a new pavilion. The reason why we build a new pavilion is so that we can use it for multi-purpose functions, events, training, just a big shaded area that we can use for any kind of multi-purpose. And again, like I mentioned in the last episode, it's available for the members. When they rent the hall, they're going to be available to rent the pavilion with it. It's going to be a package deal. But on the other hand, whenever it comes to the JATC business, the union only has 50% control of how the monies are spent and how the approval process. The other 50% is from our NICA partners, which is the employers, the contractors that we work for. And of course, when you're dealing with building a new facility, you got topics like prohibited transaction that come up. And that's when money is exchanged from a labor union to another nonprofit organization, which the Gulf Coast Apprenticeship Program is. It's a nonprofit organization, and we're in the business of training apprentices to be journeyman electricians. So with that being said, there's certain, like I said, hurdles, and having to get with engineers, get with the city of Corpus Christi, get with the architects, find out the type of layout that we're going to need, because when we build this facility, it's going to be there forever. And we want to make sure that when we build this facility that it's properly equipped for what we need. That means if our apprenticeship grows, then it'll be equipped to handle that growth and to be able to sustain classroom sizes that are bigger than the ones that we currently have now. I think right now we currently have the portable, and then our back building, our shake building, and we're able to hold about 20 to 25 students in those classes. I think 25 is pushing it, actually, because of the square footage of those classrooms. So when we were able to upgrade and add bigger classrooms, more square footage, dedicated lab space, it's just going to be a win-win for the local, for the contractors, and of course for the JATC. But that's the difference, John, is us as a local union, we have complete 100% control of how we want to spend our local union funds. But when it comes to building a new facility, you want to make sure that the committee, the JATC committee as a whole, is on board with everything,
Right.
because it's a big thing. You're talking about spending at least a couple $1,000,000 to
Yeah.
get this project done and to
Easy.
get it done right.
Right.
And that's on the low end. We're going to try
Mhm.
to be very frugal as we can when we build this facility, because yeah, we do have some reserves, but we're not in the business of trying to deplete those reserves at all. We're trying to maintain everything we can, as well as build what we need, being very frugal,
Mhm.
and that's the plan, and that's the difference of why we're able to progress our local union, as opposed to being able to get the ball rolling and the thing done with the new apprenticeship facility. And as a matter of fact, we're actually doing a whole new redesign on that. I've contacted our engineer and our architect, and I'm actually going to have a meeting with him next week, on the new floor plan and the new parking lot that we're going to have to incorporate to make sure that we have enough parking spaces for the apprentices.
Yeah.
If you come over here at night in the evenings, man, you see the parking lot. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
this place is full. It
I've
is,
seen it.
yeah, bro. It is a full parking lot. So, like I said, it's about time that we've improved our property. We've upgraded our property, and we've saved money doing it.
Yeah.
I know I've mentioned at the meetings, if we were to hire a general contractor to come in here and to do the pavilion job and the concrete work that we got done, they were charging us over $500,000.
Oh
That's
wow.
what the bid was. And of course, they were going to supervise and manage the whole project as it was being done. But us, and me, having a construction background, we just decided to manage the project ourselves. We seeked out bids from concrete contractors. We seeked out bids from metal building contractors, and we had meetings. We had construction meetings, and we went with the best bid that we thought we saw fit, and we got it approved by the membership, and we ended up saving over $200,000
That's awesome.
by not hiring a GC. You know what I mean? By just managing and keeping up with the planning and how we wanted everything done, and yeah, just supervising and managing the project ourselves saved us over $200,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah, bro. So and no, in doing so, at our last meeting that we just had in April, on the third Tuesday of April,
Hmm.
the membership just approved for us to finish the parking lot. Which,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
That's
so
right. Yeah,
from
yeah,
where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
done right now, which is basically in the middle of our property, because our property is about 200, it's about 400 feet from when you drive in on Saratoga to the back fence.
So fence to fence.
Correct,
Okay. Okay.
correct. So our parking lot will be complete. We're gonna have it redone so that you can drive in and you'll be able to park and have the space you need, especially for the apprentices when they have class,
Yeah.
and then for the members, when they rent the hall and when they have functions. Some of our
Hmm.
members rent this place for quinceañeras. They rent it for weddings. They rent it for all types of parties and gatherings and family reunions, and I mean the list goes on.
Right.
And we need a parking lot that's efficient, that's going to be able to handle that, that type of mass parking for the members, and other activities that we have here at the Union Hall.
So that parking lot, it's gonna continue from right now where it's at the stopping point, from that point all the way to the front, like to the streets at.
That's correct, to the fence, to where the fence
Uh,
is at,
that's
and
gonna
then
be
and
that's gonna
then
be nice.
yeah, and then in doing so, it's going to get restriped and repainted, and then there's a code and a way of doing the parking lot, because they have to have the fire and emergency
Oh
vehicles to
yeah,
be
that's
able to
right.
come in.
That's right.
They got to be
That's
able
right.
to do a U-turn, and it's like I said, having to get with the engineers and the
Hmm.
city, and to make sure that everything is according to code.
Hmm.
Like I said, that saved us about over $200,000. But that is priority number one, John. We are going to build a new training facility. That is inevitable. I mean, it's gonna happen. It just takes time.
Yeah,
It just takes
and money.
time. Yeah, and money, and cooperation.
Yeah,
We,
that's
we
huge.
have to have both sides of our committee that want the same type of floor plan, the same type of building plan, and the same type of site plan, so and we're gonna coordinate and we're gonna work together to get that done. So yeah, that is a number one priority, definitely.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
When that sucker's standing, it's gonna be massive. I can
it's
imagine.
coming. It's coming
That's
soon,
gonna be
bro. I mean,
awesome.
if things go accordingly, like I said, we have this meeting coming up with this engineer and architect next week. Shoot, we should be breaking ground, I would say, by the end of this year.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be awesome, dude.
Yes, sir.
And these guys, these apprentices, are gonna appreciate it so much more than the portables that we have now. I can imagine.
I agree. I definitely agree 100%.
Yeah. I I got another question. Maybe we can touch up on right quick.
Uh-huh.
The apprentices, some of them they've been questioning the new 6 period wage structure, and if you can, like, when will it be implemented into their checks?
Another great question. So yeah, some apprentices have been calling me and been reaching out to me here at the local union and been questioning about the transition from the 10-period wage structure to the new 6-period wage structure, which we changed it first and foremost because of the new program that we're going to be implementing from a 5 year to a 4 year,
Mm-hmm.
and in doing so, we had to restructure the whole wage pay periods and how apprentices get their raises.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what we did. We went from a 10 period where apprentices are getting 3% raises every 6 months after their probationary period, to now they're going to be getting 5% raises every 9 months, after they get indentured, not after their probationary period, but after they get indentured. So they're going to start off, even as a pre-apprentice, at 55%. And then from 55%, they're going to go to 65%. All right. From first to second period. Excuse me. They're going to go from 55% to 60%. All right. That's first to second period. From second to third period, they're going to go from 60 to 65%.
Yep.
Okay. Now, this is where the real kicker and the real change occurs, is because from their third period to their fourth period is when they get a 10% wage increase, which is approximately $3 and I think 8 cents.
Three
Yeah.
dollars and 8 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$3.08 they're going to get overnight, just
Wow.
by maintaining a 75% average and being able to hold the job and able to accumulate their OJT hours. So, this is something that the union fought very hard for to accomplish. This was something that we negotiated for on behalf of all of the apprentices, and it did take some back and forth, with the contractors, and we were able to get this done. Not only that, John, that they'll get that 10% increase from their third to fourth period,
Yeah.
and that's going to take them from uh, what is it, 65 straight to 75%.
75. And
Okay.
then at
Okay.
5.
Yeah. So from 75%, from fourth to fifth period, they're going to go another 5%, right,
Mm-hmm.
to 80%.
Yes, sir.
All right. And now that at that point, when they're already, have enough hours, they should already have 7,000 hours at that point,
Yes, sir.
if they've been working since they were indentured. Now, all apprentices out, are not all created equally, so their hours are not all going to be identical. So apprentices are not all going to be on the same tier and same step at the
Right,
same
right,
exact
right, right.
time because of their OJT hours. But with that being said, they're going to be able to jump again another 10% increase. They're going to have an opportunity to jump again to another 10% increase, uh, from 80% straight to 90%, if they accumulate the 7,000 hours and they pass their state journeyman exam. Which, as of
Wow.
right now, I mean, again, that's a big substantial change, and it's a big
Mm-hmm.
improvement to the way it was before.
Right.
Because before, apprentices were capping out at 84%, even if they had a license. So
Oh, is that right?
apprentices right now that are on the job, if according to the contract to the CBA, uh, even if apprentices that are still in their fifth year right now that have a license, they're only getting paid 84%.
Wow.
So with this new wage structure, those apprentices automatically are going to get 90% off the bat, because of the fact they've already accumulated the 7,000 hours and they've passed their test. Now, if they don't, then they're only going to cap out at 85% as a fourth year, and that's with no license, and advancing and maintaining a 75% average.
Hmm.
But I mean, 10% wage increases that these apprentices are going to be implementing here, or being able to have access to, and are going to be implemented in the standards, is a major improvement, and it's a game changer. It's a
Dude,
game
no
changer
lie,
because
no lie.
it's gonna incentivize our program, and we want our
Yeah.
apprentices, we want more applicants, and we want our apprentices to know that there is a bright pathway
Hmm.
to becoming a journeyman electrician in our Gulf Coast apprenticeship program.
I'll tell you what, man, 10%, $3. It's they're gonna love that.
Oh, it's like I said, a 10% wage increase from one day to the next. As long as you, like I said, you maintain that
That
average,
average, yeah.
and you got the OJT, man.
Now, Dave, this paper that we have here, can anybody come and grab this just so they can, for their own eyes to, put their own eyes on it?
Of course, man. That's gonna be on. That's the new wage sheet. So yeah, we're gonna put a cutout of the new apprentice wage sheet, of the new wage structure, I should say,
Yeah.
on our newsletter. It's going out. It went out today. And yeah, it'll be out there. And if apprentices want to come pick one up here at the hall, come on. We'll have new wage sheets ready to go for any member that wants them.
Okay, so I also been hearing around the block here. There's been some questioning on the transition with the new local union phone app and the old one. Can you kind of just touch up on that one a little bit?
Oh yeah, this is another good question, and we actually get, I think, more phone calls on this than
Anything
anything
else?
else. Yeah, because whenever that's another thing that we did 3 years ago when coming into office. Uh, we got that phone app, and it was through a company called Linked Union. Okay, now uh, we liked everything about it, and everything about it was real user friendly. You're able to access the back end of it, and administer all the information that you want to broadcast to the app users. The only downfall to the Linked Union app is that whenever our members were logging in, they weren't able to access the data that told them exactly how much monies that they owed in dues.
Mm,
So they had no clue. Okay, so members that keep track of their own dues, and they knew, and there are, there's some, there's a mixed batch of members that know what their dues and what month that they're current on,
right.
and a lot of members don't stay up to date with that, which is perfectly understandable.
Hmm.
But when they were logging in, John, they weren't able to see the data that told them that they owed, let's just say, 2 months and three debts,
Hmm.
or maybe 1 month and two debts. So they were having to call the hall. And since they were having to call the hall, well, they were like, well, I was trying to make an app payment on the app, but since I already got you on the phone, well, might as well make my payment over
Make
the
the
phone.
payment over the phone.
So it
Yeah.
was almost making the app kind of irrelevant and ineffective, to the point where, I mean, we wanted, it was redundant in a sense, because we
Right.
wanted we wanted to be accessible even when we're not at work. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Even if it's already after 5, it's Friday night, it's 9 o'clock at night. You're like, oh man, let me make this payment. You log in with the new app, the Labor Power Express app, and you can see everything. You can see how much you owe. You can see how many months and dues you owe, and how many debts you owe. And not only that, John, you can also update and change your personal information, your address,
Oh, wow.
your phone number. You'll be able to have access to that
So,
data change if you elect to. Yeah. So whenever you move and you get a new apartment, or you move to a new house, or you change your phone number, that happens more often than you think.
hmm.
This is an app where you can go on there, and you can change your personal information. Say, yep, I, David Canonco, I moved my address. This is my new address. Blah blah blah. We get a notification on our end that says, yeah, David Canonco changed his address. Do you approve? And of course, we can always do the double authentication,
There you go.
and call the member and say, hey, John, we got your address changed. Is this correct? And you can confirm it. Yep, that's correct. And boom, we approve it. Or we could just let you do it and have. But we were told that there's some instances where there might be a typo, and where the members try to put a letter or a number, and maybe they're just one letter or one number off. So it's not a bad idea to have the dual authentication. Yeah,
Authentication,
so
yeah.
to have a follow up, just be like, hey, is this correct? And then just repeat to them, yep, that's all correct. And then, but all that is way more convenient to
Convenient, yeah.
have, yeah, for our members, as opposed to the linked union app.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what is the reason for the transition. Is it's just more convenient for the for our members, to be able to have access to that data. Again, when we first signed up with Linked Union, the first app, they were giving us the impression that they were going to be integrating with Labor Power Express. And Labor Power Express is basically the software that the IBEW uses in every local union, to maintain all of their members' data, as far as their information, their dependents, their spouses, where they've worked, their hours, where they've traveled to. Basically, it's just a go-to for IBEW members, and all their information and credentials.
Hmm.
So, but that never happened. That integration never happened, and that was something that we really need in the app that we're going to be utilizing for our members, is having access to that data of what they owe, and dues and debts, and everything else. So, and especially with being able to change their address and
Their
phone numbers
info,
in
yeah.
real time. You know what I mean? In
Yeah,
real time,
that's,
and that's, I mean, that is a convenience that we couldn't say no to.
man, of course.
So that's the main reason for the transition. Every other app or window that was on that the other app is still available on the new app. It's a little different. It doesn't look the same at all. It looks completely different because it is different.
Hmm.
But like I said, they're going to be able to have that access to that information that they need, and they don't have to call the hall, and they'll be able to have it after hours and on the weekends as well.
That's, I know it's tough for some people because they get out at 5. Some people working 12s. They get out 6:37. So yeah, that convenience is, man, just the click of a button, pay your dues.
Exactly, and
That's,
that's the whole point of it, and that's the
yeah.
whole reason of it. I mean, it couldn't be more simply put. It's just we want it to be convenient, so we're making the most convenient for our membership.
I know we wanted to kind of discuss a little bit on that craft certification kind of stuff. I know we were
Oh
thinking about
yeah,
that. Yeah. Uh,
yeah. At our last meeting, I didn't get a chance to recognize some of our rank and file or journeymen that just recently went to the craft certification training in Phoenix, Arizona,
hmm.
and that's what I want to do now. I want to throw a shout out to each and every one of them, which was one of them was you, John Aguia.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to you. We had rank and file journeyman Joaquin Martinez. He's currently working at Scott. We had a rank and file member, Manuel Gonzalez. He's currently working for Campbell. Another journeyman, Joshua Kirkland, currently working at Scott. Jerry Castillo, journeyman, currently working at Malik. And one more,
Rico.
Rico Gomez.
Yeah, Rico.
Yeah, Rico.
Yep.
Ricardo. Yeah, Rico Gomez. He's another journeyman that went, currently working for Big State.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, shout out to all of y'all, man, and it's something that we're going to be implementing with the class certification for our apprentices and the performance-based evaluations, and I wanted our rank and file members that are out there that are dealing with our apprentices on an everyday basis, that are training them and evaluating them, to know what is on the craft certification and performance-based evaluations, to better explain and to better prepare them and make them better understand why we're doing it. So yeah, so I mean, what did you think here, John? Just to
I,
flip roles here, flip roles here. I mean, let me ask you a question.
yeah.
After that training, and after being a rank and file member that went through our apprenticeship program, what is your take on this new craft certification program that we're going to be implementing with our standards?
Well, first I want to say that facility was crazy. It was awesome, man. Just to see it, man. It was really, really nice. Really, really nice. And I think it's great, man. If it can help out, the new guys coming in, just less injuries, for
Mm-hmm.
electric shock and stuff like that to
Mm-hmm.
work safe, and that's kind of what we teach, or what we want to be teaching these guys, and it's just to ensure them, man, for the future of their installs, and just to be safe and work safe. And the knowledge that you get out of this certification, it's immaculate, man. It's awesome. It's amazing. I can't wait to put it to use.
That's awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So yeah, we are looking for more rank and file members, journeymen that are interested in going and taking this course, because we need as many of them as we can get. Because once we implement this, we need more of our journeymen to be up to date and on the same page with what's going on with their training with the apprentices. Because that's what we're doing. We're
Mhm.
raising the bar and how we train our apprentices so that we could produce a better product.
Right.
A better product being a journeyman, a well-rounded union journeyman electrician. That's the better product that we're going to be producing.
I mean, personally, I really wish it was around when we started.
Yeah,
Shoot, I could. I mean,
I know.
it. I'm not gonna say I'd be any better or worse, but I mean, it definitely would have caught me up a little faster than what it took me anyhow.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like everything else that we're doing. We're modernizing, we're
Yeah.
improving, we're progressing, we're changing the way not only we do business, but we're changing the way we train.
Hmm.
We're changing the way we look. Have you seen our building? Have you seen our property? We're changing everything. We're flipping the script, and sometimes you need to do that,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's for the better.
Of
And some
course.
people don't always like change, but in this case, and I think a lot of people agree that we've been making a lot of progress, man, and we're going to keep that same momentum. We're going to keep on making progress because that's what we do, man. For the IBEW.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I just want to say that pavilion, man, came out beautiful, man. Really, really nice. Really, really nice.
Yeah, yeah, I know, man. I think so too. And we had our Easter event there on the
That's right.
12th,
Yeah, yeah,
and we
yeah.
had a great turnout, man. We had such a great turnout. We had so many little faces there, so many young kids, parents. We had the pony rides. We had the Easter bunny come and visit.
That's
We
nice.
had the Easter egg hunt. We had the dunk tank. We had the moon jump. It was, and then we had the cookout, and like I said, we had a great turnout. There was a lot of members and their families, and that's what it's all about. And so
Yeah.
it's all about familyhood.
Oh
The
yeah.
IBEW is about familyhood, and I couldn't be more happier than the turnout that we got. And I'm even looking forward to next year when we do it again, because
Yeah.
that's something again that we never really partook in prior, is having more family oriented events for our
Events.
membership,
Yeah.
and we're going to do a lot more of that because we need that. We need that familyhood, and that's what we're going to do.
So I know maybe something coming up. Summer's coming up, and the kids are going to be off and stuff like that. So maybe we can maybe throw an event in there somewhere for the
Yeah,
kiddos.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, maybe we could have like a summer picnic or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
That sounds cool.
Oh, you know me. As long as we get it approved, as long as it gets
Yeah. No. Of
approved,
course. Of
man. As
course.
long
Of
as we get it
course.
approved by the body, man, we can do whatever we want, man.
Yeah.
That's basically it. As long as we abide by the Constitution and the bylaws,
Of course.
and it's for the members, and I mean, let's do it. I will never be opposed to progressing and helping the members better advance their own local union, because that's what my job is.
Yes, sir. Dave, that's what I got, man. I think we've touched on some things here, and I want to say if anybody has questions, to definitely give us a buzz, or yourself, call us, however you guys want to do it.
All right. Well, I really appreciate everybody tuning in. This is our second official episode of the Current Connection podcast.
Yeah.
I'm your host, David Caranco, business manager for IBEW, Local Union 278 in Corpus Christi, Texas. I really appreciate you being here. Stay tuned.